All right, time once again for Up Close and Personal here on The Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV. Of course, we're Tommy Max. We're talking brewing. Once again, talking brews, one of my favorite things to talk about. We got two co-owners, two local guys, different breweries. We got Preben Olsen. He's a co-owner of Aardwolf Brewing Company right here in San Marco. And we've got Dennis Espinosa. He's from Main and Six in Brewing Company in Springfield. Gentlemen, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on board.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
There you go. Man, you guys been doing this a long time. Preben, you guys been in business for 5 years, man.
5 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What do you, when you look back, like, what do you think about that? I mean, it's like, you know, look, I love entrepreneurs, right? Because you come up with an idea, you believe in it, maybe you get your friends to look at it. What do you think? They tell you yes, you know, you go for it, then you put everything into it, and nobody's there except you for the most part, right? If you fail, you fail, but when you win, when you succeed, it's a fabulous thing.
It is. I mean, 5 years has kind of flown by for us. We were in pre-production and going through zoning for about 1.5 years, 2 years.
Okay.
That felt way longer than the past 5 years.
Really?
It's just kind of been in a blink of an eye. It's been great.
So your brew is obviously it's got to be good, right? But you got to have a good location. You have to have a good brewery, tap room, I presume. Is that the model?
Yes and no. Tap rooms definitely thrive in great neighborhoods, but at the same time, they help establish kind of industrial neighborhoods or neglected neighborhoods.
Okay.
Ones where you can actually move in. You need a lot of space, so industrial is great, or just kind of a large footprint for working. So they're actually a great driver for bringing businesses to areas that don't traditionally have like business space going on.
Right, absolutely. Kind of like Springfield, right? I mean, you look at Springfield; it's an up and coming part of our city here, Dennis. We did a live show out there last year. It was fantastic at Crispy's. What a great, it seems like, look, Jacksonville's a close-knit community to begin with. That just seems even closer with the people out there in Springfield. But it's kind of, I guess, similar, right? You guys are there with some other tap rooms or brew houses right there in Springfield.
It is. So like Preben said, neighborhoods that have either been neglected, whether they're industrial or if they're residential, commercial, breweries can help anchor further development on the commercial side. Springfield had been developing on the residential side for a long time. The commercial corridor on Main was not following that suit. So, people like Crispy coming in, ourselves, Hyperion, soon to be Strings down the road from us, that all helps develop the neighborhood. Then other businesses can sort of come in because there's the foot traffic.
Growing up in Chicago, and I was a suburban, but eventually made it downtown. Springfield feels like, you're driving in Chicago, all of a sudden, there's a neighborhood. Right. And there's some bars, and there's a restaurant, and there's some shops, and boom, you're like, wow, where did this come from, right? It's got that feel to it.
It does, because you look at older cities like Chicago, Cleveland, wherever they happen to be, there are residential portions of a downtown. Now you have, like you said, most large cities have suburban areas, and no one really lives downtown unless they have a condo or high-rise. Right. But to have an actual downtown neighborhood like Springfield, the neighborhood's old. It's 150 years old this year.
Yeah,
So because of that, you're looking at an old example like Chicago, older towns, older cities.
No doubt. And now it's the 150th year anniversary of Springfield. And you local guys, you two included with 3 others, brew houses have come up with a special brew. Before we get into the special brew, that's really cool that you can all work together, right? I mean, you compete, right? You got to compete to a certain degree, but at the same time, you're like, hey, let's come together and do something that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It always works to cross-promote. I mean, it's like baking a cake. There's no one way to do it.
Okay.
So it's not like we're exactly stealing any recipes or anything. In fact, it usually helps to tell people what you're doing and ask what they're doing so you can kind of tweak your product on the back end as well.
Okay.
And breweries have been really great about how open they are with kind of just being what you're doing formula or procedure-wise.
So are you ever... I mean, it's a small town. If you stole a recipe, it would spread like wildfire, right? I mean, it would crush you. But do you ever worry about that? I mean, do you guys sign like NDAs with each other? Like to make sure nobody's taking the recipe?
No, but it wouldn't do anyone much good if the 2 breweries had the same beer that tasted exactly the same. I mean, you're then competing on the same exact product space when there's so much variety out there.
Right.
So you wouldn't be doing yourself or them a favor.
All right. Go ahead.
Sorry. I just think most brewers brewers, you know, and most brewery owners, for that fact, they like to have their own beer. You know, there's no honor amongst thieves. Well, when it comes to breweries, you know, there is honor amongst breweries. They're like, hey, I want to do it on my own. I want to show that I can do something on my own, whatever that beer recipe is.
Where or how many taps do you guys have right now?
We have 16.
16 taps. More on the horizon?
15 are ours. One is a guest. It's a cider. But no, I don't know. We might have more. We have a building next door we may work on in the next year or two.
Okay.
And so yes, we may get more taps.
Preben, how about you? How many of you guys got?
We've got 24.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they're all filled out with our stuff right now.
Wow. And are more, like, you thinking about more? Are you trying to hone in on those 24?
I've got a couple that need to disappear because we're pretty close to having 2 or 3 more beers that are ready to go here in the next couple of weeks.
Wow. It's ever evolving, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. It's a fantastic business, man. I want to congratulate you guys. Hey, so you're at Main and 6, obviously.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Right.
And you're right here in San Marco. Are you on San Marco Boulevard, right down the road?
We're on Hendricks, right where it meets the railroad tracks.
Great. That's right. You did say that. Well, guys, congratulations, man. I mean, look, being an entrepreneur is tough, and it's never going to stop, right? Just because you got there, you got to keep growing, keep going. Right. You take on all the risk, you get all the reward, and I salute both of you for doing it.
Cheers.
And congrats on the 150th year brew, man. I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty kick-ass. Yeah. Thanks. Cheers to Springfield.
Cheers.
And the city of Jacksonville as a whole. More to come right here on the Horse's Mouth, live from Tommy Max and on Buzz TV.